Welcome back to our daily message from our Divine Compassionate Guides. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. My name is Julian Duffy, and my purpose is to live, speak, and seek the truth in all its forms to help reconnect humanity to its highest form of authenticity. And when I pull these messages, the purpose is that for you, the viewer, that person, that human that comes across this message, that it will help heal and serve you in the most divine and appropriate way. Today I'm pulling from the Starseed Oracle cards by Rebecca Campbell. Let's dive in and find out what message. I thought I'd just do a one card pull, make it quick and easy for today. Wow, that seems quite appropriate. The Great Severing, Mars energy. And if you're not aware, the Mars energy is very much the war energy, anger, the conflict, and softening to love. Wow, quite appropriate if you're observing the chaos around you. But let's go into the message. This is a shadow card, one that may feel uncomfortable and confrontational. Don't be afraid. It's here to bring to the surface anything that's standing in the way of letting love in. The warring planet of Mars is our constant reminder that it's important to soften, forgive, and find our way back to love. There are many things in the human experience that make it difficult for our heart and soul to stay open to the never-ending source of love. We're all wounded, and our unconscious wounds inflict wounds on others. It can feel like a never-ending dance we can never escape. If we aren't careful, before long, we will see the world as scary, dangerous, where fear and anxiety roam free. If this card surfaces, it can be for two different reasons. First, for you to acknowledge the difficult emotions, situations, conflicts, wounds, and fears that are causing pain and anxiety. And secondly, for you to find your way back to love. When we're hurt, it's normal to close off our heart to the world, to let the painful experience confirm the agony of separation in earthly life. When fear, anxiety, and paranoia paralyze you, it's normal to come and want to hide away from others and the world. Come out of your cave, soften your heart anyway. We're all innocent children spinning our way around the world. Find a way to see the innocence in all people, especially yourself. Beautiful and appropriate message. I know for myself, I struggle. I struggle with a lot of anger towards my fellow Canadian citizens. I blame them even more than I blame the government for what has been happening, because they're not willing to stand into their power and do the things that need to be done. And that is how I've perceived it. And I've been working on my personal blockage with that, and my being very distrustful with the things that are happening around us and people, because that's where it's coming from, is I don't trust people. And I know for myself, whether you can resonate with that or not, I can only share what my personal experience is. And I am working through the conflict of this internal disdain towards my entire culture I grew up in, and being extremely disappointed that I find it weak and infuriating that my culture isn't willing to stand in its power and push back against the tyranny that is happening. The majority are okay, or just sit there thinking that voting is going to change things without actually doing anything to make the change themselves. So this card for myself feels quite appropriate, that there's two things we can do. We can either become hardened, and we hurt with this hardening, which I have been feeling myself. And it's time for myself as well to soften, to remember that every one of us is on the spiritual journey. And one of the concepts I came across was about a Hawaiian tribe, and one of them about how we forgive people. And forgiving, we don't really have to forgive them. We have to remember that they are at the consciousness level they're at. And it's not necessarily about forgiving, but accepting that maybe their consciousness level is not as high as your own consciousness level. And that does help a lot when you realize that they're not purposely, the Canadian culture is not purposely against me. The consciousness is not at the consciousness level that I'm at. For yourself, it's going to be different. And this is our great severing, where we have to remember, do we want to be part of this war energy, this anger, this conflict? Or can we allow ourselves to soften and become these spiritual beings that we're meant to be? I hope this did help you as much as it's assisting me for today. And if you haven't, please do like, share, and subscribe. And as always, I will have another video for tomorrow. Namaste.